save by switching to AAA insurance, call 877-384-9018 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
This is Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. I'm Giovanna Latta along with Philip Palmer, and we begin with breaking news in Compton right now. Scott Reif is live over the scene. Scott, what's happening?
Well, Giovanna, LA County Sheriff's deputies followed a vehicle. There was a pursuit. We'll show you the end of that pursuit. The vehicle crashed into another car. We believe the driver got out and ran. We know that for certain. The air unit overhead told us that. We believe there was another passenger on board that they took into custody, at least talked to. Moments ago, we saw sheriff's deputies running down the alleyway. This is the Hawaiian Garden Apartments. We believe the suspect may be in custody. Actually, there he is. He was wanted initially because he was armed and dangerous, according to the initial report. The good news is, besides that accident, it's a parked car. No one was inside the other vehicle. We don't think anyone was injured, and now it appears that the suspect is in custody. There will no longer be a search here in this area. Giovanna?
Philip, thank you. Scott. Philip, you got this.
And we've got more breaking news. The Supreme Court striking down a centuries-old New York gun law that severely restricted a person's ability to carry a gun in public.
The massive ruling triggering a shockwave that will reverberate nationwide, including here in California. ABC's Faith Abube joins us live from outside the Supreme Court to break the decision down for us. Faith.
Hey, good morning to you, Giovanna and Philip. This court ruling effectively leaves similar regulations in other states vulnerable to legal challenges. The U.S. Supreme Court Thursday striking down New York's century-old restriction on concealed firearms. 6 out of the 9 justices siding with gun rights advocates in New York that the state's proper cause requirement to obtain a concealed carry license violates the Constitution. A group of New York gun owners asked the Supreme Court to establish a fundamental right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home. The gun rights advocates challenged a century-old New York statute that requires applicants for concealed carry permits to show proper cause or a specific special need for possessing a firearm in public places. The New York State Rifle and Pistol Association and 2 individual gun owners call the standard so high that it violates the Second Amendment. Some of the conservative justices worried that local officials have too much discretion.
Why isn't it good enough to say I live in a violent area and I want to be able to defend myself?
But New York State maintained that gun rights are not unlimited and that reasonable barriers to concealed carry are necessary for public safety. The state arguing that striking down the law would lead to more guns on the streets.
They multiply the number of firearms that are being carried in very densely populated places, and there is a much higher risk.
29 states require concealed carry permits, 8 of those, including New York, giving authorities discretion to deny permits to anyone who cannot show a special need. In the months after the High Court heard the case, there have been 2 high-profile mass shootings in New York, one in a subway car in Brooklyn, and another apparently racially motivated attack at a Buffalo supermarket, killing 10 Black Americans. And Philip and Giovanna, this morning we're getting reaction from New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She says this Supreme Court decision is, quote, sending us backwards in our efforts to protect families and prevent gun violence. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Faith, thank you. Just hours after the Supreme Court ruling, the Senate moved a step closer in the opposite direction to passing a bipartisan gun reform bill. 15 Republicans, including Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, joined Democrats in a crucial test vote for the $13 billion package. It would enhance background checks for gun buyers under the age of 21, close the so-called boyfriend loophole, and would also add funding for school security and mental health programs. A final vote could come as soon as Thursday afternoon.
The Food and Drug Administration is ordering Juul to pull its e-cigarettes off the market. Today's FDA announcement is part of a sweeping regulatory review of e-cigarettes. Juul is widely blamed for sparking a surge in teen vaping. In 2020, all American e-cigarette manufacturers were required to submit their products to the agency in order to stay on the market. The popular vaping company says it will explore all options, including appealing today's decision.
And now to our weather. What a roller coaster we have been on this week. Tony, what's the day looking like?
Much different than it looked yesterday. I mean, remember the map, the radar, just full of lightning strikes. I mean, there were hundreds, thousands of them across Southern California. Today, we're seeing them in Central California and over the Sierras, so that's where it's limited to right now. Later this afternoon, though, the mountains and deserts of Southern California could start to see them as there's that residual moisture in the air. Everybody else, though, in the clear, thankfully, after what a crazy day yesterday. There's some clouds developing over the mountains in the Brightwood area, 68 degrees. So, you know, few clouds right now, but later today they could really develop and cause some hail, some heavy rain at times. Here's a view over Big Bear, 70 degrees, nice and warm already up there. And then here's a look at our temperatures. Downtown LA, 83 degrees, 88 in inland Orange County, Valley's 95, so hot there, even hotter in the IE, up to 100 degrees is possible. When you look at the beaches, 78 degrees, some areas under the marine layer clouds right now. Mountain 76, high desert 96, and the low desert 109 this afternoon with hotter temperatures coming. We'll break that down in a couple of minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Tony, thanks. Speaking of our summer weather, a woman and her dogs are dead after being struck by lightning in Pico Rivera. This was breaking news yesterday. She's been identified as 52-year-old Antonia Mendoza Chavez. Yesterday, home surveillance video showed Chavez leaving her home and heading for the San Gabriel River Trail. Sometime after that, she and the dogs were struck. Chavez's landlord heard about what happened and feared the worst, knowing Chavez walked that trail every morning.
I was like, oh my God.